Dollars talk, and they talk loudly, and that's what this one is about.
And the fact is, he not only has to win tonight, again, assuming Tyson wins, he has to win impressively.
Absolutely. He has to look good enough to sell that fight now.
Now, Tyrell Biggs has won all his fights, but significantly, Larry, he's only won 13, and there's always the rap. He just doesn't have enough experience.
Yeah, he's had an in-and-out kind of career. He had some problems with drugs very early on in his professional career. That kept him out of the ring. He came back, did some good things. Then he broke his collarbone in a fight. Then he was out for 5 months. Then he had some more fights. Then just last January, he had a car accident. So he's got to prove himself that he is capable of challenging for the title.
All right, there's the other half of this fight. David Bay, at one time we were talking about him as a shining hope in the heavyweight division.
Well, Larry Holmes took some of the shine off when he got to that level of competition. He's a good trial horse and should be a reasonably good test for Tyrell Biggs.
And this, of course, his last hurrah. You have to think he's only an opponent now. He really needs a big showing tonight, and that often makes a fighter hungry. Here's the way the tape looks, the tail of the tape. Biggs is 3 years younger than David Bay. David Bay is a little bit bigger, although David Bay looks pretty much in shape right now.
He's been as high as 290 pounds, so he's svelte at 239. And here is Punch Stat, our profile of the fighters through statistics. And there you see the number of punches that Tyrell Biggs generally throws against two pretty good opponents, Snipes and Tillis, around 60 around, landing a little bit more than half of them. David Bay doesn't throw quite as many punches. Now take a look at the jabs. Biggs has a big league jab. There you see the numbers on it.
And we will take a look at the rules for this fight. And the rules in Nevada State, 10-point must system is in effect. A mandatory 8 count, no standing 8 count here in Nevada. The save by the belt only in the last round, and the 3 knockdown rule will not be in effect in this contest. It will, however, be in effect for the next contest between Tyson and Smith. Right now, let's go to the ring announcer, Chuck Hull, for the pre-fight introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, the officials are signed by the Nevada State Athletic Commission for the next bout of the evening. The judges are Dave Moretti, Jerry Roth, and Bill Graham. Your referee is Richard Steele. The next bout of the evening featuring 10 rounds of boxing in the heavyweight division. Introducing, in the red corner, fighting out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, weighing 239 pounds, with a professional record of 15 wins, 4 defeats, 11 KOs. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing David Bay. And in the blue corner, also from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, weighing in at 224 pounds. He is undefeated in his professional career with 13 wins, no losses, 8 KOs. He was a gold medalist in the 23rd Olympiad in Los Angeles. He is now rated #1 in the world by the WBA. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing heavyweight Tyrell Biggs.
All right, Big. David. Okay, I gave both fighters your instructions in the dressing room. I want to remind you to obey my commands at all times. I want a good, clean fight. Shake hands. Good luck to both of you.
So a couple of fighters from Philadelphia, and you know the reputation of Philadelphia fighters. In fact, when we were talking to David Bay, he said, you know, when one Philadelphia fighter fights another fighter from Philadelphia, there's only one response, and that's, damn. You have to wonder if that's not what Tyrell Biggs is thinking tonight. You know Bay's going to go after him early.
Biggs just took off his robe, and the back of it was inscribed, "Realize your potential," which is the battle cry of drug rehabilitation. People from the clinic in California he attended, some 100 of them are here for this fight.
Tyrell Biggs comes off a victory against Ronaldo Snipes that he said really turned the corner for him.
A good left hand by Bay, in close. the Snipes fight, Biggs fought flat-footed for the first time in his career for much of that fight. Question is if he's really strong enough to fight that way.
Well, he says he's really gone to school on his stablemates, Holyfield and Whitaker, 2 other Olympic champions. And there was a big right hand by David Bay. Winging left.
Keep him up. Keep him up. Keep him up, baby. Keep him up.
You could hear Richard Steele telling David Bay to keep his punches up as Bay tries to go to the body. Bay, incidentally, does have a history of cutting. There was a good left hand by Bay. That was mostly on the gloves.
Keep him up, baby. Keep him up.
Biggs is still fighting flat-footed. Still willing to test his strength against the bigger Bay.
I gotta get some goddamn room here, pal. Get the hell out of the way. Now you.
Don't pull away. Don't pull away from the punch, okay? Now listen. Jab him a little more. Jab him a little more, right? Now double up on your hooks, right?
Take a look at Bay and Biggs as they stay close, and there's a left that caught Biggs, but Biggs was moving away from the punch.
Hook and right hand. Okay? But stop laying back waiting, babe.
Okay.
Gotta be busy, all right?
Good rinse.
Okay.
Rinse.
Give him a rinse.
When you get close, go to work. Punch short on the inside, right? Okay. Hands up good now, right?
Come on, let's go, baby. Come on. Use that.
Okay, let's go.
And you heard David Bay's corner call him Bay, which is really his nickname. Big Bay from down the way, they used to call him. Tyrell Biggs' corner, they're telling him to stick that jab a little bit more.
Biggs has a wonderful jab, and he doesn't seem to be using it that much. He just tripled up on it, shot it again.
Bay does have a tendency to drop that left hand, doesn't he?
Don't hold it. Work your way out. Punch and get out.
Biggs is now administering an old-fashioned Philadelphia paint job with that left hand on Bay.
Keep him up, baby. Keep him up.
Good short right hand by Bay.
Bay obviously trying to stay in real close where he can do some damage with that right hand. And the jab being very effective now.
you got is an old-fashioned Philadelphia gym war right out here in front of 14,000 people.
These two, incidentally, saw each other way back in 1979 in the gyms in Philadelphia.
Blew that round, babe. You lost that round. You've got to start throwing more punches. Take a breath. You've got to move your hands. You're getting hit because you're not punching. You're laying back.
Here's Bay trying to get in close and succeeding with a right hand that landed not at a vulnerable point, but right on the jaw. And now Biggs asserts his dominance in the late part of the round. Biggs built like a big thoroughbred. It's a first here for me, Barry. The first time I've seen a heavyweight wearing beige trunks.
It's true.
Can't wait till he fights Pink Ron Thomas with his pink trunks.
Looks like they might have just faded. A little swelling under the left eye of David Bay.
Come on, punch it, get out, punch it, get out.
That was short. Here at Tyrell Biggs' corner, telling him to snap that jab.
There's a lot at stake here for Tyrell Biggs. His purse in this fight is about $200,000, but should he win it and look impressive, and should Tyson beat Smith in the next fight, there could be millions and millions at stake.
And the key words there are look impressive, I think. Bay caught Biggs again with a right hand, and Biggs having trouble getting off the ropes.
Work it out.
Biggs insists on going toe-to-toe with the bigger Bay, and he hasn't got the best of it.
Work it, get out, work it, get out.
It's the third round at a rather slow pace right now.
Watch your head.
Biggs should be punching to the Bay's soft underbelly. He may be looking for openings there, but he's not finding them right now.
Watch your head, watch your head.
Richard Steele telling the fighters to watch their heads here because they are close to a butt.
Break.
Well, we'll remind you, of course, that coming up, we'll call it a unification, at least WBA, WBC. All the heavyweight titles there are right now. Mike Tyson and Bone Crusher Smith. That's coming up following this fight. And meanwhile, a little bit earlier, in the locker room of Mike Tyson, listen to the instructions from the referee, Mills Lane.
So when you get in the ring and loosen up and all that, I've always told Mr. Smith, you guys, you mind yourself, Mr. Tyson can mind himself. Now, when you get to the center of the ring, all I'm going to say is any questions from Mr. Smith or his chief second, any questions from Mr. Tyson or his chief second, I'm otherwise, let's get it on, okay? I know how much important this fight is to you. I'm very proud to be here, and we'll do our
And
best.
Harold Letterman, our unofficial fight official. Harold, how do you see the fight?
Well, Larry, I've got a 2-1 for David Bay. He's getting in the harder shots on the inside, and Biggs is not keeping the fight in the middle of the ring and using his jab like he should.
Harold, I want you to have a lot of fun in this fight because we're not going to need you in the next fight.
It's as though Tyrell Biggs was content to almost take a rest in that third round. See if he's not any more active in this round. Was not as strong as it appeared. That one was a little better. And there's a serious combination by Bay. Biggs is cut inside the mouth.
Come on, work it out.
Biggs is an 8 or 9 to 1 favorite in this fight. Doesn't look it right now.
Bay continuing to pounce on Biggs. And it's Biggs fighting Bay's fight.
I have no idea why Biggs isn't trying to stand outside and use that outstanding jab of his.
And again, a combination by David Bay. And here's a cut, serious cut. That is over the left eye. That's a very serious cut.
And just as I said that he should be standing outside, by staying inside, he got cut. And that is a bad cut, and that's what can happen when you stay inside.
And that was not the result of a butt, and now David Bay just tries to take advantage.
The job of Biggs now isn't to look good, it's just to survive. Now he gets on his balls of his feet and starts moving.
A lot of blood coming from that cut. Put a lot of pressure on the corner. Left hand by Bay.
Hard right hand by Biggs. But it doesn't budge Bay.
Biggs has clearly picked up the tempo since he was cut. But fear, of course, one of the great motivators.
Well, there's desperation now just in his fight early last year where he broke a collarbone in the second round and gutted it out and won with his left hand. They're going to have to patch him up between rounds, and he's going to have to stay away from Bay.
Top on the top.
It's all right, Doc. Give us a shot. Come on, we put the 18 in there.
Hey, Biggs, let me get the pressure on that. Now listen, let me get the 18 in here. This guy's easy.
Doc, give us the guy's easy as pop.
You see how you're sticking to the stand. Now go out to this round, Biggs. Don't be cute. Just be sticking to the stand like you was just gone.
Let's take a look and see if we can see the punch that caused the cut. Right there appears to be the punch. Yes, you can see the blood starting to trickle down. It was a punch, not a butt, not a scrape.
Load up on the punch. Do you understand? Now go out there, don't be loading up, just sticking him, stabbing him, and opening up the combination and making him miss. You got me coming? Now the guy's easy.
That is a terrible looking cut.
Nasty looking cut. And I couldn't hear the doctor who was in the corner say a word, to tell you the truth. I didn't hear any conversation between the doctor and Richard Steele, the referee.
Well, Lou Duva sort of protected Biggs and tried to stand between him and the doctor. But I'm sure if it opens up here and if Biggs isn't doing any better, the doctor will take a closer look between rounds.
There's no real panic dynamic in the corner of Tyrell Biggs. And no real go out there and get him strategy. It was just sort of do what you're doing.
Keep him up, David.
The eye has started to trickle again.
And as you see, a long way to go in round 5. Bay seems to be a little more patient this time and is now sort of starting to fight Biggs' fight, staying away from him, not trying to press the fight inside. That uppercut by Bay and a right hand.
Biggs just can't put a dent in David Bay. He can't hold him off. His punches are just not doing the job. He isn't a strong man. It's as simple as that, so you wonder why they have him in such a flat-footed style trying to exchange punches.
And when we talked to David Bay, he said if he stands flat-footed, we're going to go home early. And that cut, of course, in a position where it really does affect the eyesight of Tyrell Biggs.
Get out, Biggs. Biggs, Biggs.
All right, it's coming along good.
Okay, now listen, Biggs.
Give me that water.
Biggs.
We're going to take a look at that punch that caused that again from the previous round. This is the previous round. You can see that last right hand and the blood trickling down moments later.
Please use the jab.
A punch.
This guy's nothing. It's very ordinary. Just carry your hands good and high. Now look, carry your hands good and high. Use the jab. Use the jab. You understand? I'll leave it in there.
Yeah, no problem.
I want to keep the pressure on.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Now look, Biggs.
Let me go, Joe.
Let me keep the pressure on. Keep your hands up good and high.
I got
Use the jab.
Bring your hand, all right?
Okay.
Now let's stay busy once you get in there. Don't lighten up on it. This is for all of us. Come on.
All right, come on, man.
You gotta go. Come on, you gotta go now. Come on. Let it go. Let it go. Come on.
David Bay's corner smells blood and a big opportunity. Tyrell Biggs' corner has the smell of a lost cause here.
Interestingly enough, the doctor did not appear in Biggs' corner between rounds. And that's the kind of cut, Larry, you've been around this sport a lot longer than I have, but if it weren't Tyrell Biggs, you have an idea that this fight might have been stopped.
Very well might. It hasn't, the blood has trickled down the side of his face, Barry, so it hasn't gone into the eye and doesn't seem to be bothering him in that fashion.
Bay, interestingly enough, didn't really work on the cut too much the last round. He is more so in this round.
You wonder if it's having a psychological toll on Biggs because he's just not fighting a smart fight.
But nor was he before the cut. Long right hand by David Bay and another right hand. And Bay now keeps Biggs on the ropes. Now Biggs gets off.
I can't help but think of how Larry Holmes dealt with Bay because Biggs has similar equipment, and Larry Holmes just stood outside, popped him, established the jab, had him mindful that his jab and finally nailed it. There's two good right hands, and Biggs may have hurt him.
He definitely slowed him down, and now Bay is about to go. And Biggs was in for the kill, and Bay is down. Just like that.
Just as Biggs started to throw his jab, it opened up for him. We've been saying all along, where was the jab?
Biggs tries to finish it off. Bay is just standing in the middle of the ring, trying to cover up and survive. And he's still got 45 seconds to do that, and I don't think he's going to do it. Richard Steele steps in and stops the fight. There's one of the great comebacks.
A gutty performance again when he was under duress by Tyrell Biggs. You can't help but remember how early in his career people thought he just didn't have the gumption for this game, only the skills. But once again, he's demonstrated a knack for pulling it out when he had to.
Yeah, he just seems to fight better when there's a need to fight better. So a stunning knockout. And that cut looked for all the world like it was going to cost Tyrell Biggs any chance whatsoever of a go with Mike Tyson. Again, of course, should Tyson beat Bone Crusher Smith, that fight coming up. Let's take another look at those two right hands. There's the first one. It was a big right hand. Now he straightens up once again. There's a left jab to set up the right hand, and there is the one that really did it. You can see Bay just literally get stopped in his tracks. Now watch Biggs again. Not wasting punches. Bay is about to go, and the right hand, an uppercut, and a right hand behind that. Bay is down. One more for good measure. And for all intent, the fight was over at this point. Let's take another look at it. Now the jab sets up the right hand. He missed with that one. Straightens up again. Goes to the body. He'll come with a left jab and then a right hand. That one slowed him. There's the right hand. There's the uppercut and the right hand behind that. And Bay was down. He wasn't yet out, but that was to follow just seconds later. For all intent, the fight was over with that. But as Larry Merchant pointed out, is when he started to use the jab, that made the right hand that much more effective. Bay did get up, but as you can see, he had nothing left. Just trying to weather the storm, covered up, then dropped the hands, and that's all Tyrell Biggs needed. Richard Steele stepped in, ended it, and Tyrell Biggs now possibly could look ahead to a go with Mike Tyson. Is he ready? Well, he would probably tell you yes. We said that he had to win impressively tonight. And under the circumstances, I'd say that was impressive. Right now, let's go to the ring announcer, Chuck Hall, for the official decision. Chuck?
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Richard Steele stops the bout at 2 minutes 18 seconds of the 6th round. The winner by a TKO and still undefeated, Tyrell Biggs.
So Tyrell Biggs is the winner. Larry Merchant trying to position himself to talk with Tyrell Biggs. And let's go up to Larry Merchant with the winner. Larry?
Tyrell, did you feel you had to stop him because of the cut?
Well, first of all, I like to say that when I went back to the corner, you know, I got confidence in my cut people with Joe Ferrioli and Lou and them. And when I came back, I just asked them how it was, and they said it was all right. They can handle it. So what I'm supposed to do is get that out of my mind. I'm bleeding, that's one thing, but as long as I can keep fighting, you know, I got a chance.
Did you think it was bad? You saw a lot of blood on you. I haven't seen that blood on you, and I don't know if you've seen that kind of blood of you in your career. Have you?
Well, no, not visually. I've been bleeding all the time. I'm still bleeding, to tell you the truth. But I wasn't worried about that. As long as when the doctor and the referee came in to the corner in between rounds and looked at it, and it was okay for me to go out there, you know, I still got a chance to win this fight. And that's the attitude that I had. And I don't know, I just give this credit to believing in God and doing the things that I know I can do. That's why I realize your potential.
All right, Tyrell, we're going to take a look at the end of this fight. Would you describe what happened?
Well, George Benton was telling me he was telling me, I don't know why I didn't do it earlier, but he was telling me to go ahead and and throw the right hand and let it go because he was open for it. And see, right then, I just figured, you know, I threw the jab, and he was really confused with the jab, and it was just a matter of time before I placed the right
That's
hand.
the next question. You didn't seem to use your jab in the early part of the fight. And as soon as you opened it up, the right hand opened. And you have an outstanding jab.
Well,
why didn't you use it?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, just between, I didn't say anything, but I'm always fighting in pain. I'm so blessed with talent, God-given talent. It's a shame. But my left hand has been bothering me a little. But I know if I tape it up real good, I knew I can go ahead and fight with it. I didn't want to call it off because the importance of this fight. And I'm just getting down to it. And earlier when I hit through the jab, it was hurting me just a little. So I thought I'd give it a little rest in between. And when it was able for me to start firing it again, then that's what I'll do.
That jab, is your left hand hurt from the time you had an automobile accident in January?
Yeah, it's still something that springs up from when I sprained it.
All right, you said you knew the importance of the fight.
Right.
Do you think you're ready to fight Mike Tyson if he beats Bone Crusher in the next fight?
That's right. I was waiting to the outcome of this fight, and now that I've proven myself and won this fight, I should be the next person to fight Tyson, and Tyson can come on and knock me out if he won, but I'm ready to fight him.
Thank you very much.
He don't impress me that much. I like to tell Darrell Ward to keep pushing because he had a problem, and I want to say for Darrell that my heart is with him, and I'm praying for him.
Okay, Tyrell. Now back to Barry at ringside.
All right, thank you, Larry Merchant. Thanks to Tyrell Biggs, a winner tonight over David Bay, and perhaps the biggest step forward in his young career. Well.